What's up, Maniacs? My name's Mex. I'm a wrestling fan, wrestling enthusiast, a WrestleManiac, if you will. And we are back. The boys are back in town. We're talking AEW Dynamite. We're talking AEW Fight for the Fallen. Got the man then with me, of course. We have GG from GG on Wrestling, and we got my brother from Wrestling's NK here. Guys, how we doing?
Doing good, man.
Doing good. Good to be back.
Good. Yeah, man. It feels good to do this again. It's been a minute, fam.
Yeah,
especially after last night's show as well, which was,
man.
Very good.
Good to have that post Dynamite feeling, fam.
Yeah, that buzz, bro. I watched like the first hour this morning before I started work. So imagine me, I'm just on a high all day, just sits out at my desk thinking, wait, Ricky Starks is sick,
It literally was like that. Like this show was packed, and not just packed with action, good storyline development, along with a lot of teases, new stuff that's on the horizon, whether that's pay-per-views, championships, which we're gonna get into, possible returns and stuff like that. Like I just felt they just gave us a lot, and it's kind of we're getting into that territory of setting up the next month, which will lead us into All Out. So yeah, very happy with the show. Guys, the regular kind of stuff, hit the like button, subscribe if you are new here. You'll catch myself and NK on the Wrestling's channel, which is in the description as well. So subscribe there. And of course, GG, our brother, check out his channel as well and subscribe to his channel. It's all in the description.
And make sure you're following Wrestling's on TikTok as well.
Yeah, we're working. Right, guys. So I'm posing this differently for you guys watching as 5 things we learned from this show. So we'll kind of touch on them. The man them have come up with things they've particularly want to speak on, and we'll expand on obviously the segments and stuff that they fell into. So we're gonna get it started with obviously the title of the video. I think one of the main things that we all saw finally here, the trios titles have arrived finally here. And GG, this was one of yours that you wanted to bring up and look at and speak about closer. So obviously we saw the unveiling of them, and we were told about the tournament. What's your initial thoughts and what was your feelings when this was revealed?
Like I was surprised because I didn't think we'd see him for a minute. Like obviously because they've just brought in the All Atlantic Championship, and then the camera cuts to the commentary, and bam, you got the trios titles in front of him. I was even paying half attention, I think, at the time, and I looked back and I was like, oh, that's the trios belts. Like first and foremost, again, they've delivered on the belt designs as well. Like they look sick. Like every belt over there is just beautiful, which I appreciate. But yeah, surprised to see it. We know that obviously Tony was holding off for Kenny for the trios titles. He made it very clear that was the case a while back in an interview, and there's been reports that Kenny is on his way back, and here, bam, trios titles, Kenny Omega return confirmed in AEW pretty much. And then yeah, obviously they've announced the tournament. It's gonna culminate at All Out, so already we've got something to look forward to for All Out straight away. And boy, like the names, the combinations of teams. Do we get into what happened later on as well?
I mean, yeah, you can obviously enlighten us before we kind of start talking about it a bit more.
Like, so we cut to the Bucks just walking around backstage with the Cutler cam. Oh, just bump into Hangman just on a whim, and like Matt Jackson straight away, happy birthday. You look great. Oh, you look great, as if they were bumping into their ex-girlfriend and that. Yeah. And obviously all the history there. And if you've watched BTE recently, there's been obviously some developments there in terms of, Matt writing out a long text message that he didn't send to Hangman, that Hangman was going to send to him a while back. And then Dark Order interrupt Matt Jackson as he's about to seemingly apologize to Hangman for everything that's happened. So we don't get to see that just yet. And then they walk off, and it's a clear tease. Is Hangman going to pick the Young Bucks as a trio? Is Kenny going to be with the Bucks? There's so many combinations. It's just intriguing, man, and the details in the story yet again.
NK, I feel like the final at least is already kind of been, it's obvious it'll probably be the elite between Hangman or the Hung Bucks as they are calling themselves and stuff. What's your thoughts on that?
Some variation of the elite is going to be at the All Out. The question is which variation of the elite, because like Gigi pointed out, TK said, I'm not revealing the title until Kenny's back. And we know Kenny is very important to this whole elite saga storyline when it comes to not only Adam Page, but Adam Cole. So who knows? It could be a thing where like the Young Bucks might, be in a promo segment announcing that, we want to have Adam Page as our partner, and then Kenny swoops in and, kind of makes us wait a bit longer, or, whatever combination of things. With the tournament, I'm happy there's a tournament, but I pray one thing. Please announce two things. The brackets. Just announce the brackets. And that's all, the brackets and the teams in them. So we can start doing like the fun of tournaments is seeing who's. It doesn't even matter that we predict that probably will be the Elite versus Undisputed Era. I just want to see mad matches. Blackpool Combat Club versus House of Black. Los Faction de Gobernadores versus Death Triangle. Just give me these trios matches. And I'm excited. The trios division is something I've wanted for a very, very long time. And I'm telling you, trios wrestling is important. And you're going to see, how important trios wrestling is, man. So I'm excited, man. I'm very excited.
Mark has some great comments here. Big up Mark for joining us. He said, make the bracket make sense and no free passes like Samoa Joe in the Owen. Yeah, we need to see everyone just from the jump who's involved in this. I wouldn't even mind, the odd inclusion from, people outside the company. Obviously, they've got, even Ring of Honor with their own 6-man division and stuff like that. That could be fun. But they really need to nail this because, like we're saying, the last tournament, although all of the matches were really good matches, just the tournament feel let us down.
And you could even do a build, like if we're trying to build to the tournament, like just do like, I don't know, some people could have initiation. So like, let's say there's a tag team, but they need one more person. Just do, okay, I don't know, Jericho Appreciation Society invitation. Somebody who wants to join our team, or just have people in the locker room scrambling. Oh, let's make a team. You can do a lot of fun things with this trio division. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm even thinking as well? Past, so let's say, I don't know, the Elite win it, and that's Kenny and the Bucks, and then we get FTR and Punk. Like, there's a lot of meat on these bones, man. Like, it's gonna be fun, and I'm very intrigued to see the Hangman Kenny stuff. Like, is Kenny ready to like enter this tournament, or I don't know. I feel like is Hangman gonna have to bail out the Bucks and become a member of their team? Like, I don't know, man. There's gonna be something. It's gonna be sick, man.
Maybe even something where one of these, either Elite or the Bucks and Hoops, whoever, kind of get towards the final, and then someone gets injured, and someone needs to step into place, and then Omega just returns.
Yeah, that's what. Yeah.
Yeah,
on the night at All Out, if that's when he's going to be ready, innit? Maybe.
Yeah, it's definitely all up in the air, but it looks good. Lincoln says we definitely got legitimate trios teams for this tournament, so not just throwing together teams, which is very true. It also goes on to say throw in Evil Stable to get squashed by House of Black. I mean, it depends how many teams they're going to go. We've only have about 4 weeks or so until we get to AEW All Out. So yeah, we'll just have to see how big they want to make this tournament. Victor says AEW can bring AAA talent. Lucha Libre is known for trios matches. That's very, very true. So yeah, I'm looking forward to these. One question, yeah. Obviously, about 2 weeks ago, we had new tag team champions crowned. They had their celebration last week. This week, they were in singles, or at least Swerve was in singles competition. And obviously, Keith Lee got beaten up in the back. They're setting up a next program. Do you think there is any kind of possible overshadowing of the tag division, especially where like a new tag team literally just won the title 2 weeks ago? Is there that kind of risk with kind of putting this out there now, and now they've obviously in the next 4 weeks going to run pure trios matches as we get towards All Out?
Potentially. I say that because the way trios matches is are set up, it's like a lot of the matches can be a lot more dynamic than tag matches, and people might be like, oh my God, I want to see more trios matches. But I feel like what they should do is that if you have for example, I don't think FTR should be in this tournament. I don't think FTR should be in this tournament. I don't think like save some of like the top tag teams. Like the Young Bucks just lost their title, so it makes sense for them to be in this tournament. A lot of the other trios teams, like Lucha Bros, they've been doing Death Triangle stuff for a minute now. But a lot of the contenders that have been competing in the tag team division, keep them there. It's almost making like a rotation thing. So like have like at least 4 solid guys that are doing tag team wrestling for a minute, and then with the trio stuff, have, especially for the tournament, push guys there. So, and then when the champions are eventually announced, you can have a man jumping back and forth, and it'll be interesting. But for now, just keep a solid batch of people around the tag title, and also have Swerve and Keith Lee defend the title. So, like in the next 2 weeks, I hope they defend their tag team titles.
They're probably defending it at that Quake at the Lake thing against
Josh Woods
and what's his face, isn't it? Tony Nese.
But do you know what? I think just on that point quickly, I think everyone maybe needs to temper their expectations a little bit, just because the story that's going to be told with the trios titles is, I mean, it's going to overshadow a lot of things. I think, it's going to be a big story, so it's going to be difficult. But yeah.
It will overshadow. I agree. I mean, it depends when that story is going to start, though, because if they're starting this whole thing just as a tournament, then we actually may not see that story until later in the tournament / September post All Out. So yeah, there may still be the opportunity for Keith Lee and Swerve to kind of be center stage with their tag team championships and that regular tag division. But yeah, it's just a thought anyway, because it obviously seems like a lot is going on. One thing that I don't know about you guys, I was relieved to kind of see this past week on the show was there wasn't that heavy Ring of Honor presence. No, and they just had a pay-per-view. Nobody from that was won a championship or any of the champions was on TV this week, which I felt helped the show just in general. What do you guys think about that?
They needed a rest, I think, most of them. Like, especially FTR, like obviously then ROH, but I think everyone was a bit battered, man. I think, Samoa Joe was tired anyway, bless him. So, and, his name was brought up. But yeah, I think everyone was maybe just tired.
Yeah, I feel like with the Ring of Honor stuff, obviously they just had the pay-per-view, but like now it is, because we are heading into All Out season, and that you've had the pay-per-view now, and there does need to be that distinction between AEW and Ring of Honor. But obviously, because AEW Ring of Honor doesn't have that television program, like it will have to, some storylines will have to be on AEW. But Ring of Honor don't have a show for a while now. So I think obviously we might see Claudio defend the Ring of Honor title somewhere, maybe on a Dynamite or whatever. But for the most part, like this is All Out time, like especially with the storylines that we're building right now, and the incoming returns. Like we just had Danielson return, Kenny's on the way, then we probably got Punk coming up soon. So like there's a lot on the agenda, and Ring of Honor right now, you've had your pay-per-view. Like it's time to get back to, what I'm saying, like the draw.
The only danger of that, you don't want it to be the case where it's like, oh, ROH have a pay-per-view coming up, oh, here they are again. Do you know what I mean? You
Yeah,
still want them to be, you know, maybe less so at the moment, of course, but at least scattered throughout like the week.
yeah. It's all about, like we're saying, how you manage it, sort of thing. If they kind of do it and make the person keep the champions especially relevant, leading up to whenever their big shows are gonna be, then I guess that works. Not just spamming us with loads of Ring of Honor stuff as we get, you know, right towards their shows or their pay-per-views. Yeah, Mark says here, in regards to the trio stuff, they always leave it super late to organize these tournaments. I want to see a big 32 team one. That is too good to be true. I think that's too good to be true. We're never getting that.
The thing is, I don't know, it's difficult, isn't it? Like tournaments are very more sports centric. I know you can obviously tell stories through them, but doing them that deep, I don't know if some fans would be engaged for that long for it.
Trust me,
I'd love to see it.
Yeah, because a 32-man tournament, one for the trios division, impossible. There's not enough people.
Well, yeah,
it's
yeah.
impossible.
Oh yeah, that's
impossible.
one thing. Yeah.
And two, listen, I'm a New Japan fan. Yeah, 100%. I love the G1. The G1 is long, you know.
Yeah,
like, it's actually long, and to have like that programming on, and New Japan has the benefit of like solely being a sports product, and it's not a product that's like streamed, like it's not a television product in the way that AEW and even like WWE are. So it's like, if you do a 32-week tour, a 32-man tournament, fine. How many matches are you going to do in a week? Like, that tournament's going to be long, and it's like, for a lot of the Western audience, they might not be accustomed to like that big tournament thing on weekly television, innit? So it would be nice to see, don't get me wrong, but it'd be a big ask. My main gripe is just show us the brackets from early on, and like, yeah, just show us the brackets from early on and have the tournament layout be concrete from the jump, and give enough time for the tournament to breathe. So I say like a good 4 weeks to a month is fine.
Yeah, which it looks like that's kind of what we got in terms of timescale right now.
Yeah.
Victor says they can run Ring of Honor weekly shows, get rid of AEW Dark, and taped Ring of Honor in Universal Studios. I mean, we've heard loads of ideas and possible solutions to them doing this. It's just whichever one they're gonna take.
I'll be back, guys. 1 sec.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, it's just whichever one they're going to take, and you kind of. Because they are feeding us Ring of Honor, it's like you're getting invested in it somewhat, and then it's like, yeah, like now we're not going to see the champion. The whole, you know, Claudio just won this championship. When are we going to see him next to give that kind of champions, you know, first speech, first promo? This is where it gets a bit difficult, and it's a struggle to stay invested. Right, we're going to move on to the next point, the next thing we learned from AEW Fight for the Fallen this past week. I think this is one of NK's points, but we can talk about it until he comes back. And it ties in with the first thing we discussed around the Trios title, that the Hung Bucks reunion, as they used to call themselves, could be soon. Like, we've seen the teasing of it in this past episode. I think this is the first time it's made it to TV in terms of the teasing of it all now. Otherwise, it's been on BTE. NK, what's your thoughts? And like, of course, we still have, you know, we found out that the Elite are going to be on TV next week. And we now, obviously, it's more or less obvious. Like we said, Kenny Omega's hanging over this whole situation, waiting to make his grand return. So, what's your thoughts on the relationship between these guys, how it's playing out on TV? Obviously, the trios might be a catalyst for this as well.
Obviously they've been away from each other for a while. Hangman's kind of been chilling since Forbidden Door, been doing whatever. I'm not mad at it, but he's been doing like whatever. And the Young Bucks are kind of in a place where they've also been floating too. So I feel like naturally it makes sense for like them to be like, okay, like you're not doing nothing, I'm not doing nothing, like let's come together. But in terms of how it will play out, it's very interesting because like we've all like the Bucks and Hangman, like ever since even Full Gear, like we've seen the road to like repairing their relationship is there. And even if you notice, I think it was at Double or Nothing or Revolution, the Young Bucks were wearing like Hangman colors.
Yeah.
They're wearing Hangman colors. And and obviously on BT, like they've been teasing hella stuff. So I definitely
hold on, sorry, but what wasn't it last week where Hangman was wearing tie-dye and a headband? That was on Dynamite, wasn't it?
Yeah,
that was on Dynamite. Yeah. And
that
also when the Young Bucks
sick.
When the Young Bucks lost the titles, Hangman was like waiting in the back.
Yeah.
So we're doing like a lot of little subtle things that I enjoy in it. I don't think we're gonna get the reunion yet. I feel like they're teasing something. I think Omega's going to be the person that throws the spanner in the works. And I was talking to Knowledge, big up Knowledge, and Knowledge said, imagine if like the next week's segment, we think that Adam Cole's going to go with Undisputed Era or whatever, and he actually picks the Bucks. So it just throws a spanner in the works in terms of the team. In terms of this whole storyline, this is what I like. The elite storylines are always sagas. They're always go in different directions, and like I feel like the elite, it doesn't feel like TK books their stories. They do what they want, they book what they want, and they tell their stories in a specific way. So I'm not gonna know how we're gonna get to the reunion, but the reunion is gonna happen with Kenny, Hangman, and the Bucks, and the elite as we know it. Well, except Cody, but the elite as we know it will be back. So I don't know how we're gonna get there though. I don't know if it's at All Out or Full Gear. Actually, it might be Full Gear. Long-term storytelling. That's the year Hangman won the title. That's the year Hangman won the title. So it might be Full Gear.
True.
But I don't understand how we get there, because like Hangman potentially with Dark Order in the trios, potentially.
Yeah.
Like, do they make the finals against the elite? But then how do we get to the reunion? Like, I feel like there's just some way that someone has to replace someone, and Hangman I can just imagine him jumping on the apron to like rescue the Bucks or something. I don't know, man. But then how does Kenny?
You gotta get Dark Order out the way. I'm so sorry. It's so peak to say this about the Dark Order because I like them, but they're gonna get out of the way, which is sad because I wish the Dark Order was still like relevant.
Yeah,
but you know.
We've been saying this is like that turnover of the roster. Like even some men are still there in the company, but this roster has changed so many times, so frequently in like 3 years. Like people that were regulars on TV can't get on TV now. Like you catch them on BTE or Rampage at best every couple of weeks, or if they're in their hometown or something like that. That's when you're seeing these guys. And
but Dark Order was on TV last week, though, wasn't it? Or when was it? Yeah, with Hangman, little trios.
They were on. That was Rampage, wasn't it?
Rampage, yeah.
Yeah. And then I think they were last on Dynamite maybe 2 weeks ago when they done the whole Dark Order Forever thing, or I think it was
ends up leaving.
But I kind of respect that because it's like, right, as a collective, we're still Dark Order. And then when we saw Anna Jay leave, I thought, okay, good. So maybe one of them sentimental ones, like in our hearts, we're all still Dark Order, but let's now go off and break up the group visibly and do our separate things. But then the rest of these men still come out together. And yeah, like you're saying, it's almost like a bit of a crutch for Hangman at this point. Like maybe that is, obviously we don't know what they're planning, but it would be nice to see him kind of move away from that to get fully into this elite storyline, because at this point, Dark Order have like no credibility at all to kind of keep us, engaged.
Silver and Reynolds are a solid team though. Like,
they are
very good workers, man.
I was upset when Stu left because I really like Stu and Uno, but
man.
I think Stu and Uno that's Dark Order to me. But I'm upset. But I just hope they found a way to get not rid of Dark Order, but like push Dark Order to the side without making it seem like Hangman's being a dick.
Yeah,
they need to find a way to do that without making Hangman seem like because deep down, you shouldn't, like, the elite have been treating you poorly, and then Dark Order were there, when you won the title, when you were down on your luck. I even the clip on Twitter where they did the whole cowboy entrance last year for like the 10-man tag against the elite. And Dark Order held you down, so you got to find a way to remove them from the story without making it seem like Hangman's being ungrateful.
Yeah. Definitely.
Uh,
Any last words?
unless they move on. Do you know what I
Dark
mean?
Order.
Unless it's they're the one to make the decision and go, because I really like them as a tool to, like they did for Hangman. Do you know what I mean? Just someone down on their luck. Dark Order comes, builds them up. Like, do you know what I mean? Maybe like a little, and I would like to see them maybe go, oh, this person's, we could do the same like we did for Hangman, and
Mm.
and they go, look, Hangman, be with your real friends or whatever.
So their role now becomes AEW therapists or counselors or something like that.
Yeah, whatever it is, man. Or like a little second
I mean,
dojo, the Dark Order dojo.
to be fair, that's how Dark Order started off as a heel faction. It was like they were recruiting jabronis.
True.
They were
True.
like, if you're down on your luck, come join the Dark Order. I think, do you know what? If they remix it and repackage it a certain way, like keep the same premise of what they were originally, but just as faces. So even do like the join the Dark Order vignettes. Come join us. We're fun over here. Yeah, they could do that. That's a good idea, Gigi. They could do that.
It's a fair point, to be honest. It is a fair
or
point.
even just like a hill that they just like the stuff they do on BT, man. It's all like good stuff. Like if they're just week on week, just a little segment trying to convince like a really angry hill like to join them, and I don't know.
Yeah.
There's still stuff that they could do with them.
100%. There is. They're still very good. Cool. We're gonna jump on to the third thing that we're gonna speak about today. Guys that are watching live, we appreciate you. Hit the like button for us, please. Let's talk about this. Number 3, what we learned. The FTW Championship. This actually, I think I will, when we're watching Dynamite, in a bit of a maybe like a 15-20 minute segment of the FTW Championship being on the TV and all the people involved in that being around that, I thought this title has actually worked for Team Taz. And then I come on Twitter and I see Brian Cage. I don't know if you guys saw his tweet saying that, like Team Taz is dissolved or something like that. And I'm thinking,
here today, gone tomorrow.
Business picked up as soon as you left, mate.
Yeah.
Like,
funny that, isn't it? As soon as you went.
Yeah, they started doing good stuff. Gigi, this was your point. Obviously, the whole thing of the title switching hands and Ricky Stark's performance throughout this entire segment. So you want to take it away?
So, no one else is going to talk about Ricky Starks, are they then? Because right, like
no, go for it. It's on you.
Because oh my god, like to see the vignettes back as well, like they are so sick. Like he was releasing his own vignettes, like directing them himself before his debut, like just as like CVs almost. Like this is what I can bring to the table, and like they're just so different to stuff we've normally seen. It looks like a GQ advert or just something like, and it's so very tongue-in-cheek at the same time, the way you just like Drake style looking at it, like turns at the end, like absolute. It was just, they nailed it. And for them to, I was very surprised that he went over Danhausen so quickly. That was surprising to me, and fair play to him for doing it. Like, but it was just another way to just keep Ricky looking strong. So they had that vignette. Oh, this is Ricky Starks. This is his character. Get to know. Then he squashes Danhausen quickly, and you're like, right, the man. And then he's like, send me someone else, and Hook comes out, and I was like,
let me stop you there,
guys.
I don't know if you guys, we didn't speak about it last week. I don't know if you guys saw this when they said that Danhausen was going to be his next opponent. I knew, I swear, mother's life, that Hook was lurking after Danhausen. Did you guys see that coming? Or
I didn't see it coming that night. I thought like Danhausen, he'd beat Danhausen and then the Hook would come up for the save or whatever. But I never thought it would be like, no, Danhausen and Hook on the same night. But that's crazy.
But I foolishly thought the Hobbs Starks beef was gonna be about the FTW title.
Okay.
Like that's what I thought it was gonna be centered around. So I thought it may happen with Hook eventually, but I thought Hobbs and Starks were gonna beef over that belt. Like
last week when Danhausen came out, I was ecstatic. I was so happy because for me, it was either going to be like NK just said, one of two things. He beats Danhausen in the challenge, and then Hook will be the next challenger, or he's just going to rough up, bad up Danhausen, and then Hook's going to come make the save, and then we're going to have Ricky Starks versus Hook anyway. And I always thought, obviously, Hook is going to win to free up Ricky Starks to now go on and do greater things. So yeah, I think it was great.
I did suspect it when he was waiting. I was like, well, it's either Hobbs, but I don't think he was in his gear ready to go. And then I was waiting to hear that like Action Bronson, like little guitar riff at the start. And then I was like, it's just that anticipation at that point, isn't it? When you know something might happen and it does happen and it's just gassed. And then
the crowd was screaming Hook, 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 and then it's like they waited for the cries of Hook to die completely. And then when it died, it's like they hit play, and then like obviously you come out and stuff.
And then Hook comes out in the orange as well, and like to pay homage to his pops. And like Taz even said on commentary, "Oh, this is so surreal." Like, and bless him, like what a moment for him to witness. And yeah, it just again, Starks did not look weak at all during this. Like Taz, Hook is a strong competitor. They had a good back and forth, but Starks had been in a match already, and he got caught in a submission wonderfully as well. Like the Rochambeau counter was nice. The way he just, you know, that's technique, bro. Like to get those hooks in and just
Hook is like even though we see him, he's very smooth. Like he's very good. Like, even like some of the counters he was doing, I was like, bro, like I want to see Hook. Obviously, keep Hook strong, but the day Hook really goes all out in like a 10-minute match or whatever. Oh my god, it's gonna be crazy, man.
The boy definitely knows his graps. Like he's very slick with it.
Proper, man. I just even like FTW belt as I don't necessarily think it needs to mean anything. I like it as just an accessory. Like this is the man that's wearing like this like hat, or do you know what I mean? It's just
I think
and
it works
as
him. Like so I thought it works like as a team tag. That works as a team Taz legacy thing, where it's like, yeah, cool. Okay, we thought Brian Cage was the guy. Okay, maybe not, but cool. It goes to Ricky Starks, and Ricky Starks over the past 2 months has really upped the I wouldn't say prestige, but like the relevance of the belt. And then obviously it going to Hook. I think it should end there. You know, just end it at Hook. Either Hook, like I think Hook should keep that title until he wins a big title, and then he can like retire the title. Like you can retire the title, and then give back to the pops. And now I've got the actual whatever gold it is, whether it's TNT.
You can have this one back. You mean I got something different? I got a new one.
I mean the whole premise of the title is because Taz was cheated out of world titles and any other. So yeah, it'll be like even if it's a all Atlantic championship, it's like that like I've risen sort of thing in it. So I mean
Rev Pro, yeah.
Listen, it's all possible. You guys know I was super critical. I have been super critical about this FTW championship. More so because I think of the way they brought it in. Obviously, Brian Cage lost to Moxley, and it's like, okay, well, you didn't win that world title, so you can have this one. Consolation prize. Like, I've hated it since. But like I said, I think, the way it's been kind of used, especially in the last 6 months, it's like, this is for Team Taz. This moves within Team Taz and shows kind of who's the next up and all of that kind of stuff. And they've really made it work. And as Hook took it and carried it, and obviously he's Taz's son as well, it just meant all the world sort of thing. Like, this is actually an important title sort of thing. But I think that's a brilliant idea, like you said, NK. Like maybe he should just keep this. This is now his accessory, so to speak, until his day of whatever he wins comes along, and then that's how the title just kind of disappears from TV.
And also, I want to go on, Gigi.
No, go.
I was going to say if the segment where Hobbs turned on Starks, fam. Bro, because even that whole just match in terms of like Danhausen, then Hook, then obviously Hobbs coming out, it was planned perfectly because the vignette got Starks over, right? The vignette got Starks over. Obviously, he beat Danhausen quickly, which I was happy that happened because Danhausen shouldn't be getting no offense on Ricky Starks. Like, let's be real, like it shouldn't be happening. Then you got Hook over, and I was scared. I can't lie, I was before when the match ended, I was happy football. I was like, what was that vignette for then? Like, why was the vignette at the beginning? Like, you gassed me up just to have him lose. But then, obviously, when he cut the promo and then Hobbs turned on him, I was like, oh, this was all just to facilitate a babyface turn. It makes sense. This was all to get the crowd on Starks' side. When that Hobbs turns on him, we're like, bro, you just like Starks just gave us a bad presentation. He defended his title, he lost his title, he went out in the blaze of glory and cut a mad promo, and then you want to take away his moment. Nah, man, you Hobbs. Like, so nah, man. Man, you Hobbs,
he
man. I felt
smashed
bad.
him, though. He smashed him in the ear, bro. Like, he smashed him like a proper wallop.
I can't wait for this feud, man.
Can't wait for the back and forth. Like, I just can't wait, like, to hear Hobbs, like, really, like, yeah, I can't wait, man.
Even in the last few weeks, Hobbs has been getting a lot of, like, promo time amongst those Ricky Starks promos, and it's like, yeah, he's got, you know, the right, it's going to sound funny, he's got the right voice on him, because we know voice, and, you know, that's why certain men don't talk too much, because as big as they are, they may not have that commanding voice to go with it. He's got the voice, he's got the look, he's transformed his body over the last year or so now. He's improved as an in-ring talent. For the longest time, I thought, yeah, Hobbs is good. I couldn't really see where it was going in the initial days of him joining Team Taz, but again, in the last 6 months or so, him and Starks have been fantastic together. And I think now it's important that he does get something out of this. We know Starks is going to go on from here to, you know, be the biggest star and have the immediate success. But Hobbs something needs to happen here where it's like, right, this guy is still, despite whoever comes out of this feud on top, is still a major player in AEW.
You know what I would do? This is later on, like, let him have it. I'd give Hobbs the title from Wardlow.
Yeah,
let's go.
Big man versus big man. Obviously, we'll see. Obviously, apparently Wardlow's going to be on Rampage, so he will be on TV this week. But we'll see what Wardlow needs another defense. But we'll see what Wardlow does. Have Wardlow have like an extended run with the title, maybe towards Full Gear or maybe Revolution, and then Hobbs. Like, if you want to establish another guy, hey man, make the TNT a big man title at least for 2 reigns. For 2 reigns. I'm saying, make it.
Do you know what I like? Do you know what I like about Hobbs is that, like, Bay Area twang. Like, you know what I'm talking about? Like there's certain battle rappers, isn't it? That just have that, like, that twang. And I think if he just leans into that as well a bit more, and just that snarl, bruv, he don't even need to talk too much. Like, just when Hobbs is just snarling, like, it just works, man. It's sick. Do you know what I would wonder? Yeah. I wonder if this was always the plan for the FTW belt, not in turn, but for Hook to. Do you think, because he was knocking around these times when Brian Cage come in, so I wonder if it was always like, right, we're going to introduce this for Hook to eventually take this. Like, I do wonder how far back it went, because.
Go on, NK.
Because Hook, the thing is with Hook, remember, Hook was a meme at first. Nobody thought anything of Hook. Hook was like, yeah, it was one of those things that just got over for the sake of getting over. And then
I don't know, man. They nailed his presentation. Like,
no, in terms of when he debuted, but in terms of, like, back in the day when Hook was a background character, he just judo flip, man, and do nothing. Like, but he just got over.
But they knew what they had. That's why they gave him that, like, debut and presentation, I think.
Yeah, I think I agree with you somewhat, Gigi. I think as long as Taz's son was in the company and learning to wrestle and he was half good, it would have always been a plan somewhere along the line that he wins this title. So yeah, I would agree with that. I guess obviously we will never know how he was maybe supposed to play out. If Brian Cage got over, what would how would that have changed things? But yeah, I think between Hook, Starks, even Hobbs, the involvement of Danhausen coming in and kind of giving Hook someone to bounce off, Brian Cage leaving and Taz almost kind of stepping back a bit and letting these guys just be the main focus. I really think they've nailed it. These 3 guys now, Hook, Hobbs, and Starks. I wouldn't go as far as say created stars. We know Ricky Starks was a star before all of this, but yeah, they've really established 3 young men on this roster within literally a 15 to 20 minute segment. So yeah, they've done a
Efficient
great job.
storytelling, bruv. Like
They've done a great
efficient.
job.
That's how they do it, man.
It was a really
More
well done.
vignettes from Starks, please. I need more of that. Them GQ magazine shoots, yes. I
Man
need
wants
that.
the glossy stuff.
Yeah, man.
All right, we got next up. I think this was my pick. What we learned: Jungle Boy can cut a badass promo, ladies and gentlemen. Like last night, yeah, he comes out, right. This is exactly how it played out in my household. He came out, all the singing and dancing, blah blah blah. He turned around, Luchasaurus come out the tunnel as well. I was thinking, this Luchasaurus. I even want Luchasaurus to knock Jungle Boy's head off. But anyway, Luchasaurus comes out with Jungle Boy. He gets in the ring. Whatever Tony Schiavone's first question was, it's like Jungle Boy was just pondering on it for bare long. And then man just takes the mic and turns around and says, Christian, you're a pussy. I said, you've got my attention. Let's go. And he literally rinsed Christian. He got him back for, all the dead dad jokes, talking about his divorce, which I never knew that Christian was going through a divorce or anything like that, saying that, because his dick's small, basically, and obviously mimicking the whole call me Christian was doing to Jungle Boy's mom. Obviously, he put over, what's his face, Luchasaurus as well, saying he's a monster, he's my monster, he's my best friend, all of that kind of stuff, which is still kind of, what side of the fence does Luchasaurus really stand on? And I'm really hoping it's not Jungle Boys, because I think, the Christian and Luchasaurus pairing I thought was excellent. Whether that happened because Jungle Boy got injured immediately after the feud, or that was always the plan, I think it just works. And then, of course, Christian joined, interrupted him, which I thought the segment was good. Christian done well, but I just thought let Jungle Boy's thing have his moment in the sun, sort of thing. And Christian didn't need to kind of come in at this particular bit. And Christian's excuse about, he ran because he wants to be the first person to get his hands on Jungle Boy. He was scared of what he'll do to Jungle Boy, and that that's not even going to be the case now because Matt Hardy's having a match with Christian, so he's actually going to be the first person to get his hands, on Christian, sort of thing, Matt Hardy. But this segment was excellent. Never seen Jungle Boy cut a promo beyond some rah-rah speech about trying to win a title. He literally went in. Delivery was excellent. Very impressed by Jungle Boy.
I even think he might have been swearing too much. There's a point that Tony Schiavone's kind of nudging him a bit, all right, mate, chill out a little bit, innit? I was crazy. The delivery's crazy, but 100% Luchasaurus is staying with Christian Cage. I'll put all my money on it.
Mark says here, Jungle Boy is bringing back the Attitude Era. Talk about TV 14. NK, what was your thoughts on the promo?
Bro, I was shocked. I was like, because I was waiting. I was like, Jungle Boy, he's trying to remember your lines. Are you nervous? But then you said, are you nervous? And then he started talking. I was like, oh. I remember the line. He was like, the only reason why you're upset that I beat you in the Battle Royal is because you're broke and you're going through a divorce and you need to.
Got him.
I said, do you know what? Yeah, because do you know what? I loved this promo because it made sense. Sometimes people can be cut these angry promos for the sake of it, but it makes sense. This guy betrayed you. He hit you with a concerto. He took you out of TV, and then he started cussing your mum and your sister. My friend, flog him. Flog him. I'm not here to sell a match. I'm not here to say, oh, you're a great wrestler. No, you took it.
Who cares about a title, innit?
Nah, man, you took it you disrespected the thing. I'm gonna rinse you now, and that's what I'm happy about. I agree with Mex that I could have done without the Christian interruption, not because Christian wasn't spitting, because Christian is an amazing promo. We know this, but I just felt let Jungle Boy cook. I was there was more he wanted to say. Because if you notice, when Christian interrupted, Jungle Boy kept talking.
Just continuing,
I was like, let Jungle Boy keep talking. But I'm excited to see where this feud goes. Obviously, like this is probably going to be a match at All Out. I just wonder how we're gonna like. Obviously, with wrestling, it's all about like finding intricate ways to stall until the big match. So, what do we do to place in front of Jungle Boy? Until then, but in terms of the segment itself, Jungle Man,
Jack
I respect
Perry.
it. So, Jungle Man.
You made wrestling sound so simple. Then it's just a way to just get to a match, basically.
Yeah,
That's all
that's all
wrestling
wrestling
is.
is.
No, it is, but it was just it's so simplified.
I think maybe at the match is when we will see the decision of Luchasaurus. I don't think it will happen until maybe All Out, and maybe that's what costs Jungle Boy at least the first time round. Maybe the rematch is at Arthur Ashe or later down the line at Full Gear. Who knows? But
Jungle Boy's gonna have to like put Christian out for a bit or something to stall, like because there's still a few weeks, man. And if we are doing this whole Luchasaurus turn or turn back and back again or whatever it is, then yeah, we can't have Luchasaurus be in contact with Christian Cage. So Jungle Boy's gonna have to write him off or something, man.
Yeah, and he's still wearing the black attire. That's why I don't think he's saying he's still wearing the black attire. And if you look at the way Luchasaurus was staring at Jungle Boy, I was like, this ain't your boy. Like, it was just bare mean mugging him.
Over him, like
just bare like. I was thinking, relax, like.
I mean, to be fair, the mask and the attire is a great point, but it would be just like AEW for him to come out in his green attire and then still turn anyway. Yeah, like that. There's every possibility that could happen, in the next 4 weeks before the pay-per-view. So, yeah.
And they've won the tag titles now, so I think that's quite important as well. They've done the tag titles. Obviously, you can win them again, but I don't know what's left for that act anyway. It's run its course pretty much.
Marco Stunt's not there. It's run its course. Luchasaurus should move.
Marco Stunt's not there. They need to just allow it.
It's true. Like they were the Jurassic Express, in it. Like all of them, all of that. And then
trios if Marco Stunt was still there.
True.
Why are you not fans of Marco Stunt all of a sudden? What's going on? The Marco Stunt fan club.
I'm not a fan of Marco Stunt.
Bring back Marco.
I'm just saying, innit? But yeah, I just think where the shift from, or the evolution even from Jungle Boy to, as we were calling him before, just Jack Perry, like cut the
Jack
hair.
Man. Jackman Perry.
I said Jackman Perry. Just I still think that aesthetically he can go through a transformation, but that right now he's still a face in it, so he can be cool like how he is. But maybe as he matures, gets some edge, maybe even turns heel somewhere down the line. I personally like all that hair gone, just a nice slick haircut, and the guy already knows what he does. He does best in the ring. So yeah, I think this is good. This is what I wanted from Christian on a return. All that stuff that came before it, I really could have done without, but I guess we needed to, get the nostalgia pops in and all of that kind of stuff. Any last words on this before we get to our fifth and final thing?
Yeah.
No, cool. All right. And last but not least, this was one from NK. Fifth thing of what we learned from AEW: Fight for the Fallen. Daniel Garcia is on the rise in AEW. On the weekend, he didn't pick up the ROH Pure title, but I'm pretty sure he featured again over the week, and then obviously now he's here. Had a match with the returning Bryan Danielson, and I'm pretty sure there wasn't a soul in this world that thought that Daniel Garcia was gonna win, and here we are. What was your thoughts on this, NK?
Before I start my analysis, I've got 2 words for you. Pour it!
Pour it.
Danielson, listen, I said on Twitter, Danielson is a pour it ambassador. He pours it. Listen, this match here, first and foremost, it's great to have Danielson back, man. It's great to have him back. Like, just when he came out and then the bell rang, he didn't waste no time. He really beat up Daniel Garcia for a while. Like he was kicking him in the corner, elbows, forearms, beating him up. And then obviously Daniel was getting his momentum back. And then the spot that obviously shook me was obviously when Danielson did the drop kick off the top of the rope and then landed, and then he started selling the concussion. They got me. I genuinely thought it was a wrap for Danielson. Like in that initial spot, because the way they sold it perfectly. Where they had Daniel Garcia back up, the referee was looking over him. Even Daniel Garcia had this face of like, "What's going on?" Like it wasn't like, "Oh my god," like a heel face of like, "Oh, I'm happy he's in." Just like, "Oh, what's going on?" Like, I'm confused. So it was like it really sold like this guy might actually be concussed. And one thing I love about Danielson selling, and he's done it in AEW a lot, when he sells his concussion, he does this weird thing where he twitches. He did it against his match against Omega. I think there was a spot where Omega obviously ran off the ramps and they did the V trigger. If you look back at Danielson, he doesn't just sell, he just twitches. Like it's almost like his body's yeah, and it was like he was doing it subtly yesterday, and it's like it really just sells like, yo, this guy is really been through it. And then obviously Daniel Garcia just attacking the concussion. I'm attacking his head, and obviously the DDT to the floor, the blood, the bite-in. It just all added to the sense of like, yo, this guy's really hurt. And one thing it does, it protects Danielson, because Daniel Garcia won, and obviously we'll get to the finish of the match. Daniel Garcia ended up winning. But like in storyline, Danielson has an excuse of, oh, like I was concussed, but it doesn't feel gimmicky, it doesn't feel cheap. It still allows Daniel Garcia to have his moment.
Hager got involved as well.
Yeah. So obviously, like they're getting towards the end of the match, and obviously, I think Danielson tries to come in, and then Hager locks his legs, traps him, and then Daniel Garcia obviously gets him in a submission, and Danielson passes out. Bro, when Danielson passed out, I was like, oh my god, like this is because AEW can often be predictable, and predictability is predictable because okay, we usually know what is going, we have a sense of what the storylines are doing, but sometimes we like a bit of unpredictability in our wrestling. When this card was announced, that makes sense because nobody was thinking Daniel Garcia is going to be a returning fresh from injury Danielson. Impossible. It's not happening. But they did it in a way that really made sense. And I'm saying this right now. JAS, Jericho Appreciation Society, hold on to Danielson for the last couple minutes. He's gone. He's gone. He's a BCC member. He's already made Danielson pour it already. So, like, he's joining. There's going to be a swerve. Like, it's happening soon. And somebody even put it out on Twitter. I need to go back and verify for myself. But somebody said, even when Daniel Garcia won, he didn't look pleased. He looked like a bit like, I'm happy for the
hollow victory.
Yeah. So, listen, man, what a main event, man. Listen, this is why Danielson's like a GOAT, because this is what you can do. This is what you call storytelling and selling. Selling. It's not every day selling, take a Canadian destroyer and flop. No, it's about the little things. The little things you do in the match. Yeah, great stuff.
He was excellent. Just on that spot, I actually missed it. I don't know what took my attention. But obviously just knowing his moveset, I knew he probably went for the drop kick. And then all I heard was Excalibur say, he's rung his bell. And the way my head whipped back around to the screen to think like, what happened? And then, like you said, he was just selling it. Daniel Garcia's as well that you highlighted, his selling was brilliant because Daniel Garcia was almost, you know, when stuff legit does happen with wrestlers, Daniel Garcia was selling whatever had just happened to him, as well as trying to do that check to see if my man's all right over there. Like, Daniel Garcia was brilliant amongst all of this as well. And then, of course, we saw the DDT to the concrete that opened him up. By the end of the match, I was literally doing like a check at every angle I could. I was looking at Daniel Garcia's head to see, because his head looked a bit red in a certain area. And I kept checking, has Daniel Bryan made him bleed? Because like you, I'm waiting for him to join the BCC. So I was thinking, oh, Bryan Danielson's got to make him bleed. Like he's gonna bleed now. He dropped him on his head. He's gonna bleed now. Like I'm literally just gagging for it. Like pause. Like I couldn't. It was so. I was honestly, like no, but it's a great main event. I feel like Daniel Garcia has literally he's put JAS on notice, like pretty much like he said, NK, like he's handed in his resignation, and maybe he's got 2 more months to work with them until he moves on. Gigi, what was your thoughts on this main event?
Yeah, surprised as anyone, man. I'm so gassed for Daniel Garcia. Like, I've been a fan of his. Like, he's just been doing bits in like, other promotions, and well, obviously PWG, like Bowler winner or champ or whatever. Yeah, Bowler winner, wasn't
Bowler
it?
winner, yeah.
Like, yeah, just a massive fan. I'm even surprised to see him being put on such a spotlight, man. Like, even without the win during the match, I was like, yeah, this is making Daniel Garcia, man. Like, for him to be in a main event and to be even in the main event with Bryan Danielson, like that's tells you enough as it is. But for him to go over on him, like, mad. And just like, do you know what I wanted to say? Yeah, no, I don't see anyone really mention like Bryan Danielson's running dropkick spot, yeah, in the corner. Like, how does he make it look so bad, but you can tell it's safe because of the way he like just even for himself and his opponent, like it's such a wild move that I've never heard anyone really speak about.
Full speed.
It's like when it's the rotation. It's the rotation
when he comes back
when he's landing
on the ropes. Yeah, like he just does it so safely. It's mad.
It's very good. One last thing I'll add is that Daniel Garcia, he actually cut a promo earlier on in the night before the main event. And one thing I loved was that he was the underdog. He chatted shit. He said, I'm gonna win, and he actually won. Like, too many times we see the gas of the heel or the underdog. Yeah, I'm gonna do him and all this kind of stuff, and they don't win in the end. Like, this was almost like, yeah, you're gonna go out there, you're gonna say you're gonna win, and you're actually gonna follow through and do it, which makes me feel again that, you know, right, it's Daniel Garcia season. Like, he's gonna go on maybe even like a mini tear, something like what Yuta did before he joined the BCC and all of that kind of stuff, or in joining the BCC. A little mini tear that proves that, yeah, he's got what it takes, he's got the minerals, and this is where he should be rather than with the JAS. Even when he said, I think he said in the promo, I'm going to prove I'm the best technical wrestler in sports entertainment. I said, bro, you're the best technical wrestler. Just done with this sports entertainment jazz that these men are running. But yeah,
even in his entrance, yeah, I think the announcers announce him as a sports entertainer, which is hilarious to me. The announcer was a sport, which is funny.
Yeah, they've really done a good job with this JAS stuff. But yeah, it brought to an end a very, very jam-packed, meaningful episode. And I mean, I don't know about you guys, but I'm very much looking forward to the next 4 weeks going towards All Out. And even later on in that same month, we've got, you know, Arthur Ashe, and we know what Arthur Ashe gave us last year in it. So it looks at least that the next 8 weeks is going to be proper stuff.
Can't wait, man. I can't wait. The Elite are back. Undisputed Elite. Want to see Bear Man. We ain't seen on television in weeks. Adam Cole's back. Kyle O'Reilly's back. You know what I'm saying?
It almost feels like they're taking their show back by the scruff of the neck. Like,
yeah,
we've allowed all of you lot to run riot on it for the past 6 months. Now, like, you know, the people that brought this thing to the dance are coming back on TV now.
I personally feel like I'm just getting everything I want at the moment. Like, Kenny and the Elite stuff progressing again, potentially. Daniel Garcia in the main event of Dynamite going over a big name, and Starks and Hobbs like in the spotlight once again, like doing bits. Like, just this is my movie. You man are just living in it.
Well, they've got big shows. They announced Canada, which is going to be massive for them as well. You know, they're going to be in Canada soon. So with
and who's from Canada?
What? Hitman?
Kenny.
Oh well, yeah. But that's when is that show? Do you remember the date?
Oh, is it close? I
don't-
didn't.
I think it's before All Out, no? Or is it after All Out?
I think it's after. I think it's in October or something like that.
Oh, never mind.
Yeah,
I thought it was before All Out. Then no.
Yeah, I ain't waiting that
think
long.
so. I think it's down the line. But yeah, they've got, even like we said, Arthur Ashe, All Out. All of these things will sell out, but you know they're bringing back their big hitters for their big shows. So yeah, looks very, very promising. An honorable mention to Roosh versus Moxley wasn't something we mentioned on the show, but I generally think that was a very, very good match. And Roosh done himself no harm. Like, he really looked good against Moxley. Questionable how he got to that match, but I think the match delivered.
Regardless. The rankings are done, bro. I can't lie. The rankings are finished.
Unless what was Andrade's like ranking? What was his? His was looking meaty as well, isn't it? Like, I just feel like maybe Roosh is in Andrade's spot at the moment. I don't know.
I looked at the rankings. I'm seeing Scorpio Sky top 5. The man ain't wrestled in how many weeks? What's going on? Like,
even Josh Woods and Tony Nese, if they're gonna challenge Swerve and Keith Lee, there's no way they're even a top 5 tag team.
No way.
Unless the challengers, but if the champs challenge them, innit, they can do what they want. Nah?
Okay, that's one way to protect it, but like
no loophole.
Yeah, it's
they're not even doing dark wins anymore. At least they try to lie and say dark wins matter.
Yeah.
What dark wins have these man got?
Yeah,
them man ain't wrestled nowhere.
But that's the thing. You can always cling to the quality of wins, innit? Like, thing as well, which we don't know the metrics behind that, because he's always said it's not just about it's about the quality of your win as well, whatever.
Really? I don't even think I've heard that before.
He's always mentioned that, right? NK? He's always said it's about.
I know Dynamite wins probably they count more than dark wins. I know that for sure.
Oh, is that what you mean by quality of wins?
Yeah,
like where it happened.
I don't know what he meant by the term, but he said some. I don't know if I'm using the exact like verbatim what he said, but he definitely said or alluded to the fact an important win counts more, or a bigger win counts.
Yeah, I get that, which makes sense. For me, I just interpret that as just like if you wrestle, if you have the hot streak on Dynamite, like Punk does, for example. Punk had a hot streak on Dynamite and Rampage for months, in it. So obviously, number one contender, like no ifs, ands, or buts about it, innit? And same thing with Moxley. In terms of like, because Moxley didn't participate in a tournament, he just got announced number one contender.
Yeah, he was number one contender at the time. Through the rankings. So then they done the tournament, and then he faced whoever won the tournament.
Makes sense.
Made sense. Yeah.
But just to what you said about Roosh, like if that's the way he got there because he's got possible wins in other promotions, maybe, I don't know. Then
that's what he said. Yeah.
There's probably a next man in Plymouth Championship Wrestling that have won 17 matches in the past month that probably need a title shot as well.
Need to pull Pac. Yeah. Yeah, it's
bring Pat back though. Like, I love the Rev Pro stuff. Defend the title. I mean, he's definitely gonna defend that All Out, but like, have one more defense between now and All Out on American soil.
Yeah, I caught. Obviously, you guys told me last time that they're doing these little packages during Dynamite. I caught this week's one, which is fair enough. But yeah, I think there's definitely that separation between, are we going to see this on Dynamite or Rampage or wherever to kind of, embrace the title and feel a way about the title? Because otherwise we'll just feel this is Pac's title. This is his reason why he doesn't have to be in America, sort of thing.
But has he still got the travel issues? Or is this why? Like, look, you're important to us.
It's a choice. He lives in the UK. He's not moved to America. He doesn't live in America. He lives in the UK.
What? So that's the issue, that he just long. It's a bit long, bruv.
Like, it's a bit long. I don't want to move my family. I'm here.
No, but even just to go there 1 week, like, maybe in a couple of weeks I'll come in it. Like,
yeah,
I feel to give him a championship for not wanting to, almost come and be involved with the product is a very wild to me. But I'm happy he's got something to do. And just in terms of what the championship, what they've said it stands for and who can go for it, I'm invested in seeing, the other caliber of guys that can be in and around that. Yeah, man. Like I said, it's looking up for the next 8 weeks. I thank you guys for coming on today. We'll look to get back to doing these, guys. So Thursday, 7 p.m. UK time here. We'll be running through the 5 things you've learned from Dynamites. And yeah, like I said at the beginning, hit the like button, please. If you haven't, and subscribe to this channel, WrestleManiac UK. You catch myself and NK on Wrestling's channel, which is in the description. Subscribe there, and of course, subscribe to GG on Wrestling. Link in the description as well. WrestleManiac UK signing out, and I'll see you soon.